There are moments in life that seem to challenge logic. Perhaps you are thinking about someone and, in the next instant, you receive a message from that person. Or maybe you are reflecting on an important decision, and a phrase on a billboard or a song on the radio provides the answer you needed. These events, while they seem casual, carry a meaningful connection, a bridge between what is within you and what happens outside. Carl Jung called these experiences synchronicities, described as coincidences filled with meaning that cannot be explained by common causality. Unlike mere accidents, synchronicities reveal a pattern, an underlying order that connects the events of our lives in ways that transcend reason. They ask us to go beyond the surface of happenings and look for the deeper meaning that resides in the invisible. Think of synchronicities as quiet invitations from the universe. They whisper, "Pay attention. There's something here for you." They are not just isolated events, but echoes of something larger, a dance between the visible and the invisible, where every external movement reflects an internal truth. They invite us to see the world differently, not as a random place, but as a field of interconnected possibilities. These experiences challenge the idea that life is merely a series of linear causes and effects. They ask us to consider that there is a greater intelligence at play, an energy that connects everything and everyone. Synchronicity is like a mirror, reflecting the state of our soul in the world around us. When something resonates deeply within you, like a chord that rings in perfect harmony, it's because there's a message there waiting to be deciphered. But synchronicities aren't always dramatic or grand. Often they are subtle, almost imperceptible, like a leaf falling at the exact moment you're lost in thoughts about change. They ask us to slow down, observe, feel, to be present in the moment and recognize that life is in constant dialogue with us. When you experience a synchronicity, something within you awakens. It's as if the universe winks at you saying, "You're on the right path." These experiences generate a deep sense of connection, not only with yourself but with the whole. They remind us that we are part of a living universe, where every thought, every emotion, every action has an impact and resonance. So, the next time something in your life seems more than a coincidence, stop and observe. What is the universe trying to tell you? How does this experience reflect something within you? These questions not only deepen your understanding of the moment but also invite you to live with more presence and curiosity. Synchronicities are not just isolated moments. They are gateways to a greater understanding, an invitation to participate in a divine conversation that is happening all around us. And as we accept this invitation, we begin to see the world not as a place of chaos, but as a field of order and purpose, where everything somehow is interconnected. When you observe the world around you, you might not immediately notice the deep connection between what happens inside you and the external events that seem to arise spontaneously. However, Carl Jung proposed a view that challenges this apparent separation. He suggested that the mind and the physical world are not distinct entities, but parts of a unified field, interconnected by an invisible fabric that he called the collective unconscious. This collective unconscious is like a vast ocean that connects all minds and experiences. It is the repository of archetypes, universal symbols, and patterns that transcend cultures and times. And it is in this ocean that synchronicities are born, like waves that bring to the surface coded messages. These events are not just reflections of what is outside of us, but expressions of what resides within us. Think about this. When you experience a moment of profound internal change, the world around you also seems to change. Perhaps you notice certain types of people or experiences beginning to show up in your life, as if they're responding to your new frequency. This interconnectedness between the internal and external is not a coincidence, but a reminder that the universe is in constant dialogue with you. It responds to your energy, your intentions, and, most importantly, your transformations. Jung believed that synchronicities are the clearest manifestation of this relationship between the internal and the external. They are events that reflect your internal state, like an invisible mirror the universe uses to communicate with you. When you are aligned with your purpose or seeking answers, it's as if the world conspires to show you that you are not alone, that your questions are being heard. Ask yourself, what if the external events that capture my attention were messages meant for me? What is the universe trying to reveal through these experiences? This reflection is a powerful step towards deepening your connection with the world around you. It invites you to look beyond the surface, to recognize that each encounter, each apparent coincidence, carries a meaning that goes beyond chance. Imagine the universe as a vast energy field where everything is interconnected. Every thought you have, Every emotion you feel creates ripples in this field, generating responses that appear in the form of unexpected events or encounters. It's like throwing a stone in a lake. The ripples reach places you can't see but that influence the whole. This idea might seem abstract, but it becomes tangible when you begin to pay attention. Think of the moments when a simple internal change, a decision to follow your heart, for example, brought about significant external changes. Or in situations where something seemed lost, but suddenly a coincidence opened an unexpected path. These moments are like whispers from the universe saying, "We're connected. Trust the process." Understanding the relationship between the internal and the external also leads us to take responsibility for our energy and intentions. If the world reflects our internal state, how can we align with what we wish to create? This is a question that challenges us to look inward, to clear what no longer serves, and to cultivate thoughts, emotions, and actions that are in harmony with our deepest desires. Synchronicities, therefore, are reminders that we are in constant dialogue with the universe. They show us that we are not alone, that there is a perfect balance between what we send out into the world and what it returns to us. They invite us to live with more awareness, more presence, and to recognize that every moment, every encounter, is part of a greater dance. A dance where the internal and the external meet in perfect harmony. Life is a mirror that reflects not only what we know about ourselves but also that which remains hidden, buried deep within our psyche. Among all forms of synchronicity, those that awaken self-knowledge are perhaps the most transformative. They don't just grab our attention. They invite us to look within, to explore parts of ourselves that have been neglected or repressed, to integrate aspects that need to be acknowledged so that we can become more whole. These synchronicities usually arise subtly, but their impact is profound. You might notice a recurring theme in your dreams, like a color, a symbol, or a figure that seems loaded with meaning. Or perhaps you encounter someone who, unknowingly, exposes something about you that was hidden. These events, often uncomfortable, are invitations to face your shadow, the part of you that Carl Jung described as the repressed or denied aspects of your psyche. Working with the shadow can seem intimidating, but it is an essential step toward authenticity. Ask yourself, what is this event or encounter trying to show me about myself? What parts of my life or personality have I been avoiding facing? These questions, though simple, have the power to open internal doors that lead to profound discoveries. They help translate the symbolic language of synchronicities into insights that can guide your journey of self-discovery. For example, imagine you are in a moment of transition, but you are afraid to embrace the unknown. Suddenly, you start noticing butterflies around you, in images, encounters with the real insect, or even in casual conversations. The butterfly, as a symbol of transformation, doesn't appear by chance. It is reflecting your internal journey, showing that the courage to transform already exists within you. These small signs are reminders that the universe sees your struggle and is by your side, offering courage and clarity. Another powerful example of self-knowledge synchronicity is when repetitive patterns appear in your relationships. Perhaps you notice that you continually attract people with similar traits, or that the same emotional dynamics repeat. These experiences are not coincidences. They are reflections of parts of you that need attention, healing, and integration. Recognizing this is not an exercise in guilt, but in responsibility, an opportunity to ask, what can I learn from this pattern? What does it reveal about my beliefs or unresolved wounds? A useful exercise to explore self-knowledge synchronicities is to keep a journal. Whenever something seems more than a coincidence, a dream, a meeting, a feeling that resonates deeply, write it down. Reflect on how it connects with your inner life. Ask yourself, is there a pattern here? What is this experience trying to teach me? This habit not only helps identify synchronicities but also translates their meanings into concrete and transformative actions. The self-knowledge that arises from these synchronicities is like a map that guides you back to yourself. It helps you navigate the unknown parts of your psyche with more confidence and clarity. And as you integrate what you discover, something magical happens. Your external life also begins to change. What once seemed confusing or disconnected now makes sense, because you are living in a way that is more aligned with your inner truth. Finally, remember that synchronicities of self-knowledge are not just reflections of what needs to be worked on. They are also celebrations of who you are becoming. They show that you are on a path of evolution, growth, and alignment with your essence. And every time you respond to these invitations with courage and curiosity, you take another step toward your authenticity. There are moments when you stand at the edge of an important decision, uncertain about which path to take. It's like standing before a fork in the road, hearing the call of your heart, but wishing for assurance that you are on the right path. It is in this scenario that synchronicities as confirmation come into play. They appear as external signs that validate your choices, reinforcing that what you feel inside is in harmony with what the universe desires for you. These confirmations can come in many forms. Perhaps you decide to pursue an old dream and shortly after, encounter an inspiring message in an unexpected place, like a quote in a book or a billboard that says, "Keep going." Or it might be a seemingly random conversation with someone who, unknowingly, offers the exact advice you needed to hear. These moments are not coincidences. They are responses, reaffirmations that you are aligned with your purpose. Ask yourself, what signs have I noticed recently? Do they reflect the steps I want to take or the decisions I've already made? Recognizing these signs is a practice of mindfulness because confirmations often appear subtly, almost like whispers. But when you are attentive, you realize that the universe is always in dialogue with you, offering support and clarity. These synchronicities as confirmation also reinforce the importance of trusting your intuition. Often you already know what you need to do, but doubt and fear try to cloud that clarity. It is in these moments that an external sign can act as a beacon, dissipating uncertainties and bringing a sense of trust. Not because the universe made the decision for you, but because it is echoing the wisdom that already resides within you. Imagine you are considering a career change but feel reluctant to leave the security of the known. While reflecting on this, you come across an article or watch a video about people who followed their passions and found success. This is not just a coincidence, it is a confirmation. It is the universe saying, trust your courage. You are being guided. Another powerful example is when you ask for a sign directly. Perhaps you are seeking guidance and tell the universe or a higher force, show me I'm on the right path. And then something happens, a word, a repeated number, an unexpected connection. The response comes not to dictate your next step, but to reaffirm that you are not alone and that your journey is in harmony with something greater. To cultivate this awareness, try recording the synchronicities that arise during decision-making moments. Note the context, what you were thinking or feeling, and how the sign appeared. This record not only reinforces your confidence but also creates a history of evidence that the universe is indeed by your side. Finally, synchronicities as confirmation do not eliminate the need for courage, but they make the path clearer. They act as arrows along the road, not necessarily showing the final destination, but ensuring that you are heading in the right direction. And as you continue moving forward, you realize that these confirmations are not just external validations. They are also a reflection of your internal connection with your purpose. With each sign you recognize, with each confirmation that strengthens your faith, you align more deeply with who you are and what you came to accomplish. And in this process you discover that there is no need for haste or doubt, because you are exactly where you need to be. There are encounters that change everything. Moments when a person crosses your path, and you immediately feel they have a role in your journey. It may not be clear at first, but something about them resonates deeply within you, a silent recognition that this encounter was not by chance. Relational synchronicities are like that, bridges built by the universe to bring learning, growth, and transformation. These connections can arise in various forms. It might be a friend entering your life at the exact moment you needed support, or a mentor appearing to offer wisdom when you're about to take a big step. Or it might be someone confronting your deepest beliefs, challenging you to look at your shadows and grow beyond them. No matter the form they take, these synchronicities are a reminder that people don't appear by chance. They are reflections of something greater at work. Carl Jung described a fascinating concept related to these encounters: projection. He believed that many of the qualities we admire or reject in others are, in fact, aspects of ourselves that we have yet to recognize. Thus, relational synchronicities offer us a unique opportunity for self-discovery. Ask yourself, what is this person mirroring in me? What lesson or quality are they here to teach me? A common example is when you meet someone who inspires you deeply. Perhaps this person possesses qualities you admire, courage, creativity, compassion, but that you may not have fully integrated into yourself. This encounter is an invitation to awaken those qualities within you, to remember that what you admire in others also exists within you, waiting to be manifested. On the other hand, encounters that provoke discomfort or even conflict also carry powerful messages. They force us to confront parts of ourselves we've been avoiding. Perhaps the resistance you feel toward another person is reflecting something within you that needs healing or acceptance. These encounters are not easy, but they are incredibly valuable for those willing to learn from them. Relational synchronicities can also occur unexpectedly and seemingly casually. You might be in a cafe and strike up a conversation with a stranger who shares exactly the advice or perspective you needed to hear. Or you might reconnect with someone from your past at a moment that seems perfectly planned to bring resolution or inspiration. These events, though they may seem fortuitous, are part of a larger design aligned with your journey. To identify relational synchronicities, begin by paying attention to the people who enter your life and the impact they have. Ask yourself, why is this connection appearing now? What is it showing me about my journey or about myself? This practice of observation and reflection helps recognize these connections as more than casual interactions. They become opportunities for growth and alignment. Finally, remember that you are also a synchronicity in the lives of others. Just as they reflect something in you, you are also a mirror helping others see their own truths. Every interaction is an exchange of energy, a chance to learn, teach, and evolve together. And when you honor these connections, whether with gratitude, forgiveness, or presence, you strengthen the flow of synchronicities in your life. Relational synchronicities show us that we do not walk alone. They connect us to something greater, revealing that our individual stories are intertwined in a collective narrative. And by embracing these encounters with an open heart, you not only transform your own journey but also illuminate the path for those around you. There are moments when life surprises us with a sense of unity so profound that it's impossible to ignore. These are experiences that connect us to something greater, something that transcends our individuality and reminds us that we are part of an interconnected whole. Universal connection synchronicities offer us these glimpses of infinity, moments when the barrier between ein and we seems to disappear, revealing the invisible web that supports all existence. These synchronicities often manifest in events that evoke reverence and wonder. Imagine being outdoors, contemplating the stars on a clear night, and feeling that each one is somehow connected to you. Or perhaps you're walking alone in nature, and an animal crosses your path in such a symbolic and meaningful way that it seems loaded with a message meant only for you. These moments are not mere accidents. They are reminders that you are immersed in a living, conscious, and deeply interconnected universe. Universal connection synchronicities make us ask, what if my existence wasn't separate from the cosmos, but an expression of it? What if every part of creation was connected by a greater intelligence that speaks through patterns, events, and symbols? These questions invite us to expand our perception, to see beyond the obvious, and to recognize the beauty of the invisible. Patterns in nature often play a key role in these experiences. Think of the fractals found in leaves, ocean waves, or distant galaxies, structures that repeat on different scales, suggesting an underlying order to the apparent complexity of the universe. When you realize these forms also exist within you, in your body's cells, in your emotions and thoughts, it's as if a piece of the puzzle finally fits, revealing that everything is connected. These synchronicities can also occur during moments of deep introspection or meditation. Perhaps you're reflecting on an existential question, and suddenly feel an inexplicable peace, as if an invisible answer had been delivered directly to your heart. Or maybe you experience a coincidence so vast that it transcends logic, like meeting a stranger who shares a vision or story that directly touches your soul. These experiences remind us that the universe doesn't just observe but actively participates in our journey. Recognizing universal connection synchronicities requires us to be present. Often, we are so absorbed in the demands of daily life that we fail to notice the subtle signs surrounding us. But by slowing down and observing with intention, we begin to notice how everything is intrinsically linked. One powerful way to cultivate this awareness is to spend time in nature, where universal intelligence is revealed in clear and tangible ways. Each sunset, every breeze that touches your face, is an opportunity to feel the vastness of the cosmos within you. These synchronicities are not only moments of awe, they also carry a deeper purpose. They invite us to let go of the illusion of separation and recognize our responsibility as part of an interconnected whole. When we realize that our choices, thoughts, and actions have an impact on the collective, we begin to live with more intention and compassion. This awareness not only transforms our own life but also contributes to the balance and harmony of the world. Finally, universal connection synchronicities are reminders that we are never alone. Each of us is a note in a greater symphony, a unique expression of an energy that permeates all. And when we allow ourselves to hear this music, perceive the patterns, and embrace the signs, we become more aligned with the essence of existence itself. This is the magic of the universe, not just living in it, but living as part of it in total connection. Not all synchronicities arise in grand moments or are filled with spiritual intensity. Often they appear in our everyday lives, discreet but significant. These are small events that, at first glance, may seem trivial but, when observed with attention, reveal deep messages. These everyday synchronicities are constant reminders that the magic of the universe is always present, even in the most ordinary situations. Imagine being stuck in traffic, frustrated by the delay, and suddenly hearing a song on the radio with lyrics that seem to speak directly to your heart, calming your mind. Or maybe you're thinking about someone you haven't seen in a long time, and on the same day you run into them by chance. These experiences may seem simple, but when seen with a careful eye, they reveal that there is a dialogue happening between you and the universe. One of the most common forms of everyday synchronicities is repeated numbers. You look at the clock and see 11:11, 22:22, or a sequence that keeps showing up in unexpected places, on car plates, receipts, or addresses. These numbers often carry symbolic meanings that vary from person to person, but generally, they are interpreted as signs of alignment, presence, and a reminder that you are being guided. Ask yourself, what was I thinking or feeling when I noticed this repetition? What message might it be sending me? Another example of everyday synchronicities is small coincidences that seem to confirm something on your mind. Perhaps you're considering changing careers, and in a casual conversation, you hear someone mention the exact field or opportunity you were thinking about. Or you're reflecting on a difficult decision, and in a book or film, you find a phrase that resonates like an answer. These experiences not only validate your concerns or intentions but also show that you're in tune with the flow of life. To recognize these synchronicities in daily life, it's essential to cultivate mindfulness. Often, we are so immersed in our routines and concerns that we fail to notice the little miracles happening around us. Practices such as conscious breathing and intentional pauses during the day can help create space to notice these moments. Ask yourself frequently, what is the universe showing me now? How can I be more open to the messages around me? A valuable habit is to record these events in a journal. Write about the signs that emerge, the patterns that repeat, and the emotions they evoke in you. Over time, you'll begin to notice how these everyday synchronicities connect, forming a mosaic of meaning that guides and inspires you. This record not only strengthens your perception but also helps you build trust in the process. These everyday synchronicities also teach us about the beauty of the present moment. When we pay attention to them, we realize that life isn't just made up of grand events, but of small, precious moments that add up to form our experience. They remind us that magic is not reserved for special occasions. It is available at any moment as long as we are open to seeing it. Finally, these little synchronicities invite us to live with more lightness and joy. They show us that, even on the most ordinary days, something extraordinary is happening. They connect us to the rhythm of the universe, to the dance of meaningful coincidences that make life richer, more connected, and more purposeful. When synchronicities emerge in our lives, they can evoke a mix of curiosity, surprise, and even skepticism. They challenge our usual understanding of the world, asking us to look beyond the surface and find deeper meanings. But how can we differentiate a true synchronicity from a mere coincidence? And more importantly, how can we interpret these messages so they become useful guides on our journey? The first step in interpreting synchronicities is cultivating presence. Being aware of what's happening inside you and around you is essential for recognizing and deciphering these signs. Often, synchronicities come during moments of transition or questioning, when we're particularly receptive to the universe's messages. Ask yourself, what was I thinking, feeling, or searching for when this event occurred? What emotion or insight did it awaken in me? Intuition plays a key role in this process. It is the bridge between the logical and the symbolic, between the conscious mind and the unconscious. When interpreting synchronicities, trust the sensations and insights that arise spontaneously. Maybe a meeting, a word, or a number resonates deeply with you, even if it doesn't seem to have a clear meaning at first. That feeling of resonance is the universe whispering that there's something there to explore. However, it's equally important to balance intuition with logic. Not every seemingly connected event has deep meanings, and it's easy to fall into the trap of overinterpreting every small coincidence. The key is balance, observing the events with curiosity but also with discernment. Ask yourself, does this really connect with something important to me right now, or am I forcing a meaning? Keeping a synchronicity journal is a valuable tool for interpretation. By recording the events that seem significant, you can start to identify patterns over time. These patterns can reveal recurring themes in your life, such as issues you're ready to face, decisions you need to make, or qualities you're being called to develop. Writing also helps process the emotional and symbolic meaning of these events, transforming them into practical insights. For example, if you notice repeated numbers like 111 or 444 at specific moments, note the context. What were you thinking or doing? These numbers often carry symbolic meanings such as alignment or protection. Likewise, if you notice recurring themes in dreams or encounters with specific people, ask yourself, how does this reflect what's happening inside me? What message is the universe trying to convey? Another important aspect in interpreting synchronicities is humility in the face of mystery. Not all messages reveal themselves immediately, and that's okay. Sometimes the meaning of a synchronicity only becomes clear with time, when you look back and realize how it fit into the bigger picture of your life. Accepting that some answers may remain hidden is an important part of the process, as it teaches us to trust the journey and the rhythm of the universe. Practices like meditation and mindfulness help refine your sensitivity to synchronicities and interpret their messages more clearly. By quieting the mind and connecting with your inner self, you create space for insights to emerge naturally, without the interference of mental noise or external expectations. Finally, interpreting synchronicities is more than just finding answers. It's an invitation to live more consciously, openly, and connected. When you recognize these messages and embrace them with gratitude, something magical happens. You begin to see the world as a place full of meaning and purpose, where each moment has the potential to be transformative. There are moments in life when it feels as if the world is whispering in our ear, reminding us that something greater is calling us, something that transcends the challenges of everyday life. These experiences often appear in the form of synchronicities that seem to conspire to align us with our life's purpose. They don't just guide us, they reveal to us that the universe has a plan and we are part of it. Life's purpose is not a fixed destination but a path of discovery and expression. It is deeply rooted in who you are, in what makes your heart vibrate and your soul feel alive. However, the path to finding and aligning with that purpose can be full of doubt and twists. It is in this space of uncertainty that synchronicities appear, like shining signs indicating that you are moving in the right direction. Think of synchronicities as a spiritual navigation system. Maybe you're reflecting on what step to take in your career or in a relationship, and suddenly a coincidence arises that seems impossible to ignore. It could be a seemingly random conversation that resonates deeply, a book that crosses your path at the exact moment, or an unexpected event that opens a door. These moments are not coincidences. They are invitations to trust the flow and move forward. Ask yourself, how do these experiences reflect what's inside me? Are they calling me to adjust my course or to reinforce my confidence in the path I've already chosen? These questions help decipher the messages of synchronicities, allowing you to integrate them into your journey with more clarity and intention. Often, synchronicities related to purpose arise when you are in alignment with your essence. It's as if the universe responds to your authenticity with signs of confirmation. But at other times they appear to correct your course, to help you realize where you may be straying from your truth. Both types of synchronicity are precious, as they work together to keep you on the path of your fulfillment. A classic example is when you decide to pursue a dream, even if it seems impossible, and you begin to notice opportunities and connections appearing almost magically. People who share your vision show up, doors that were once closed open, and even challenges seem aligned with your growth. These moments aren't just signs that you're on the right track. They are reminders that life's purpose isn't something you achieve alone. It is sustained by greater forces working in harmony with you. On the other hand, synchronicities can also arise as reminders to adjust. Perhaps you're on a path that doesn't resonate with your essence, and the universe begins sending subtle, or not so subtle, signs to redirect you. These signs may appear as patterns of resistance or discomfort, but when observed attentively, they reveal profound insights about what needs to be changed so that you can realign. Keeping a journal to record these synchronicities related to purpose can be incredibly enlightening. Note the signs that arise, the context in which they appear, and what they awaken in you. Over time, you will notice how these moments form a map that guides your journey, pointing to your essence and the unique impact you can have on the world. Finally, synchronicities and life purpose are expressions of the same universal dance. They remind us that we are being guided, not only by our conscious choices but by a greater intelligence that knows our hearts better than we do. And when we embrace these signs with confidence and gratitude, we discover that life's purpose is not something we need to desperately search for. It's in every step we take, every decision we make, and every moment we choose to live aligned with our truth. Synchronicities are more than just remarkable events. They are gateways to a deep spiritual journey, an opportunity to transcend the ordinary view of life and enter a state of expanded consciousness. When observed attentively and embraced with gratitude, they connect us to the self, as described by Carl Jung, the totality of who we are, our deepest and most authentic essence. They invite us to live in alignment with the universal flow, where every event carries meaning, and every moment is a vital part of something greater. This spiritual journey begins with an awakening. The moment you realize that something that seemed like a coincidence is, in fact, a sign that the universe is in dialogue with you. It's like hearing for the first time a melody that has always been playing in the background, but until now you hadn't noticed. This awakening not only changes the way you see the world but also how you position yourself in it, no longer as a passive observer but as an active participant in creating your reality. When you recognize synchronicities as part of your spiritual journey, you begin to notice patterns that were previously unnoticed. Perhaps you notice that certain events or symbols appear repeatedly during times of transition or reflection. These patterns are like coded messages, reminding you that your life has purpose, and every step is part of a carefully designed path. Synchronicities also have the power to expand our perception. They show us that the world is more interconnected than it seems and that our personal experiences are intertwined with a larger order. This understanding helps us transcend the limited view of self as separate from all and embrace the idea that we are part of a universal flow. Ask yourself, how do these signs connect me to the world around me and to my own inner self? This reflection not only deepens your understanding of synchronicities but also strengthens your connection to the divine. To fully explore the potential of synchronicities as a spiritual journey, it's helpful to develop practices that increase your sensitivity and openness to these moments. Meditation is a powerful tool in this regard. By quieting the mind and entering a state of presence, you become more receptive to the signs the universe is sending. Even the most subtle events gain clarity, and you begin to perceive how everything is interconnected. Another valuable practice is mindfulness in daily life. This means being present in each moment, observing with curiosity and without judgment. Often, we are so focused on our routines and concerns that we miss the small miracles happening around us. But by cultivating mindfulness, we create space to recognize synchronicities as they happen, transforming even the most mundane moments into opportunities for spiritual connection. Synchronicities also teach us to trust the flow of life. They remind us that not everything needs to be controlled or understood immediately. Some messages may take time to reveal themselves, while others are clear and instant. This balance between action and surrender is an essential part of the spiritual journey. Trusting the flow does not mean abandoning your efforts, but recognizing that a greater wisdom is guiding the process. Finally, synchronicities as a spiritual journey invite us to live more consciously and in alignment. They remind us that every choice, every thought, every intention has an impact, not only in our own lives but in the whole. And by responding to these signs with curiosity and gratitude, we discover that the journey is not just about reaching a destination, but about experiencing the fullness of being present, connected, and conscious of the role we play in the vast fabric of existence.